There are many existing sets of guidelines and principles on both specific and general digital policy issues. Referring to the emphasis to seek opportunities for added value and avoid duplication, can the panel to consider the creation of a repository of existing guiding principles and guidelines as a valuable resource for the panel and for other working in the field of digital policy? This would be a positive output, creating support for cooperation using already existing documents. I expect that Diplo Foundation would be willing to assist with a project like this, and I personally would be as well. Is a proposal like this viable as a submission? I think this is excellent, actionable proposal. If I may add to your drafting exercise, in addition to repository, try also to suggest one step forward and to see what are the commonalities among different principles. What are the sort of the underlying elements? As you indicated, there are so many principles and the guidelines that the main challenge will be to find commonalities. Therefore, please go ahead, and I would like to encourage to make a submission in this direction. Unclear what is the link for the submission, please provide URL. Glenn, the link will be provided on the 8th of October when we will make announcement of the submission process.
A participant
Paris,
has
June,
joined the meeting.
Following up on the Glenn McKnight, is there a link? Yes, I answered this question. Laurie Schulman, the submission of announcement will be launched on 8th of October. Yes, Laurie, we expect a lot of interesting suggestions and stories from the trademark community. Please try to bring your community into discussion. Marilia Maciel, thank you for presentation, Jovan. Thank you, Marilia. Some very interesting documents have been produced under the areas of work of the HLP, high-level panel. Some examples are the Net Mundial Statement, a key multi-stakeholder document that set internet governance principles, and mapping of IG mechanism produced by the Working Group on Enhanced Cooperation. How is the high-level panel going to take account previous documents while also being creative and taking their suggestion to the next level? What are the points in connection with previous work done in the IG field? Marilia, the panel will make all possible efforts to build on the existing volume of knowledge and experience and expertise. This is the starting point. This was clearly indicated by UN Secretary General. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We have to build on excellent work by various communities that has been done. Having said that, we need to move one step forward. The circumstances are changing, developments are different, and we have to reflect what are the current concerns on digital cooperation, and in particular, what will be concerns ahead of us 5 or 10 years. Therefore, in brief, yes, we will build on the existing inputs, experience, and knowledge, but we will also move one or more steps forward towards creating a recommendation that will reflect the current concerns in digital policy. Thank you, Paris. Ginger, in my previous comments, that was my polite way of asking if concrete output will be a priority. Yes, the concrete outputs will be priority. The recommendation that will be submitted to the Secretary General should be actionable. We plan to inbuild implementation process in the deliberation of the panel. Therefore, when we discuss capacity building, we won't discuss just the general concepts about capacity building. We will also think what could be done as the next step. What are the activities that can enhance capacity building of various institutions? The same applies to other action areas, whether it is the question of data policies or inclusive finance and other fields. Then we have Laurie, please take in mind ICANN meeting and IGF, Paris for schedule more meeting and submissions. Yes, definitely, Laurie, we are fully aware of extremely busy period. And we have also ITU Dubai, ICANN meeting, IGF, Paris, and we will take that into consideration. And that's good. Remind time always is important factor in these exercises. Makane, it's great to hear from Makane, but I guess Makane, you're back in Addis or in Senegal? you in Dakar. First question, as always, many questions from Makane. Makane, what would be the priorities? What would be the priorities as following the definition you gave? It looks too ambitious to tackle all issues in 9 months. Thanks. Makane, as you know, me, I'm quite ambitious when it comes to the achievements, and I can tell you the Secretariat, including my colleague, Ambassador Amandeep Gill, is ready to this sort of task. We are fully aware of the limited time, and we are really working very hard. The reason why we started today with our engagement process with this meeting immediately after the New York meeting is exactly not to waste a single day. And with your help, I'm sure that we'll manage to meet this deadline. Second question, this activity being of multi-stakeholder nature, I hope the process will not be hijacked by one group of stakeholders vis-a-vis others. How would you avoid this? Well, the transparency is one important process. The second is that we will encourage those communities whose voices are still weak in digital policy to speak a bit louder, and there will be sort of encouragements to involve and to keep this balance, this process as balanced as it is possible. Obviously, as we know, dynamism will create its own direction, but you can rest assured that we are going to be very sort of careful about providing the space for the involvement and input from all stakeholders. Your suggestion, the 7th African IGF will be held in Khartoum from 4 to 6 November, and we would be glad to have a panel on digital cooperation, participation of members of the high-level panel and the Secretariat. Thank you, Makane, for your suggestion, and we will follow up on it. And I can tell you that there is a strong interest to have many activities in Africa. Paul is asking, one of the biggest challenges in Africa is poor and or lack or core infrastructure, power, fiber, tower infrastructure. Will the panel identify workable means for funding infrastructure development? Paul, this is an excellent question. Panel cannot propose anything more than you have by existing players when it comes to infrastructure development. We speak about Broadband Commission, African Union, Economic Commission for Africa, private actors, Gates Foundation, and the other actors. Therefore, when it comes to the development of structure per se, there are so many excellent actors, and that won't be our focus. However, we will try to see if there are ways and means to improve the cooperation among those actors. And the funding of infrastructure development is one of the important areas. And this is where we will try to create value add in our process. Then we have thank you by Glenn. Laurie, trademark community will absolutely participate as we support this high-level approach. Thank you, Laurie. It's great to have you with us. Also agree that digital goes beyond the internet. The internet is still the key driver. Completely endorse this point. Glenn, I will have a joint booth at the IGF Paris with ICANN at large ILS, ISOC CAG, and chapter booth at 24. It will be great to see you at this booth, Glenn. Thank you for informing us. Anne Giraldi, will the panel have any direct means of involvement of other international organizations as WTO, WIPO, UNIDIR, ITU, but also regional organizations like OSCE or ASEAN? And we have been already doing quite a few activities with the organization that you indicated, but also some other players, like, for example, ITC, International Trade Center, and various regional organizations. International organizations are the key player in the international cooperation, and they will be one of the major players when it comes to the digital cooperation. Therefore, we'll be involving them, we'll be discussing their participation in this broader multi-stakeholder exercise, And I can tell you, based on the first 2 months, that they're very keen to be involved. They're very supportive of the process. They're providing concrete suggestions, and there is overall spirit that they will be part of this broader community and movement towards creating a better digital future and more effective digital cooperation. Therefore, we have really good news from this community. And I'll give you one concrete example. International Trade Center, which is established by WTO and UNCTAD, created an excellent report on digital commerce and SMEs. In that report, you can find quite a few highlights on the questions on relevance of digital cooperation, like involvement of donors agencies, cooperation among different regulators on national level, quality control, standardization, and other issues. Therefore, we will work together with them on the ways and means how to include that element of support for digital commerce and SMEs worldwide. This is one of concrete examples of cooperation with international organizations. Well, thank you. The last comments is from Makane from Dakar, Senegal. Makane, I hope you will be also involved in our consultation and engagement process in Francophone Africa and the overall Pan-African activities. And Giraldi, thank you. Good that you mentioned donors. Better coordination of donors might also be a useful task of the panel. Yep. Thank you. It seems that I managed to answer all of your questions. I would like to, on this note, to invite you to follow up our activities. We will be sending you updates, and there is a plan, maybe every first Monday of the month, to have some sort of update session like this one, providing reflections on the overall process and the forthcoming activities. Okay, Lynn, thank you, Lynn. Seeing you, well, the same wise. Thank you, Jorge. Now it's, I will receive many thank you, and I would like to send all of you one big thank you and big invitation to join us in the forthcoming activities. Have a nice day for those of you in Americas, and have a nice afternoon for participants from Europe and Africa. All the best. Bye-bye.
Has left the meeting.
Barbara Warner
Has left the meeting. A participant has left the meeting.
Jody Goldberg, Echo Star.
Has left the meeting.